Hello everyone, I'm Claire Fernandez, your digital marketing specialist, and welcome to Task 2.3 Lesson Video Module 2. So once again, I'd like to thank FAPSCO for providing us these slides. This is Module 2, Introduction to Online Opportunities. I'm sorry for the title here. Roadmap to Success. So to start with, we have the copyright notice, and we have here the 4 learning types. We try to explore. Personally, what is your learning type? So to start with, I'll just enlarge the slides because it's too small for me. So first we have here the reading, writing learners. So these learners learn best when, you guess it, by reading and writing. Interacting with text is more powerful for them than hearing or seeing images. So what are the tactics? You have to give these kinds of learners written quizzes that give them a chance to write down what they have learned, present them with annotated handouts of your presentation so they can read along with you. So it's really more on reading and writing. Then next is we have this one, the kinesthetics learner. For the kinesthetic learners, they're hands-on, experiential learners. They learn best by doing. For the tactics, sprinkle in a few exercises that get your audience to stand up and move around in order to demonstrate or experience certain points, like role playing. You can also ask kinesthetic learners to write things down in order to remember. And of course, next is we have the visual learners. The visual learners, they prefer to see info and to visualize the relationships between ideas. For the tactics, give them charts and graphics, make your presentation highly visual, and show the relationships between your various points. And finally, we've got the auditory learners. So these auditory learners, they prefer to hear info rather than reading it or seeing it displayed visually. For the tactics, these auditory learners like to recite information out loud. To remember it, give them a chance to repeat your points back to you by asking questions and calling for audience answers. So there we have it. These are the 4 types of learning types. So I think example for me, I'm more of the auditory learner. Yes, I prefer to hear things rather than reading it. People like me, for example, we also love movies because we just, we just watch it, we just hear it. Even also like a visual learner, it's more of we use our eyes, to see the movie, as I said, even in hearing. So you use the ears. For some, the kinesthetic, of course, they would use their body, so they love like people who love Zumba. They're more on hands-on and they love doing things, learning it by doing. And of course, for the reading and the writing learners, is there are people who really love to, maybe write like there's the writers and they love novels. They're more into reading and writing. Okay, so we'll now go to next. So we have here the 8 multiple intelligences. So according to Howard Gardner's theory, he's a Harvard professor, there are 8 multiple intelligences. We have the linguist, the naturalist, the physical or rhythmic, kinesthetics, we've got visual or spatial, logical or mathematical, interpersonal, and intrapersonal. So we'll try to explore this one by one. So according to Howard, when you hear the word intelligence, the concept of IQ testing may immediately come to mind, right? So how much is your IQ? So you have to take this exam to know your IQ. But intelligence is often defined as our intellectual potential, something we are born with, something that can be measured, and a capacity that is difficult to change. So this theory suggests that traditional psychometric views of intelligence are too limited. Gardner first outlined his theory in his 1983 book, Frames of Mind, the theory of multiple intelligences, where he suggested that all people have different kinds of intelligences. So right now, we'll take a look at this and try to see if we really have one and what is it. What is it, or if we have multiple intelligence. At least we just have one intelligence or multiple intelligences. That would be very cool. So first we've got this, the linguist. So people who are strong in linguistic, verbal intelligence are able to use words well, both when writing and speaking. These individuals are typically very good at writing stories, memorizing information, and reading. So they're the linguistic verbal intelligence. For the strengths, so they love words, language, and writing. For the characteristics, people with linguistic verbal intelligence, they remember written and spoken information, enjoy reading and writing, debate or give persuasive speeches, are able to explain things well, use humor when telling stories. Okay. So they're just people who are naturally born with it, right? They're naturally born with it, like they would just crack jokes and all of us would just keep on laughing. Okay. For the potential career choices, so if you're strong in linguistic verbal intelligence, good career choices for you are being a writer, a journalist, a lawyer, and even a teacher. That's cool. Then second is the naturalist. So naturalistic is the most recent addition to Gardner's theory and has been met with more resistance than his original seven intelligences. According to Gardner, individuals who are high in this type of intelligence are more in time with nature and are often interested in nurturing, exploring the environment, and learning about other species. These individuals are said to be highly aware or even subtle changes to their environment. For the strengths, they are into finding patterns and relationships to nature. For the characteristics, people with naturalistic intelligence are interested in subjects such as botany, biology, and zoology. They categorize and catalog information easily. They enjoy camping, so these are like for outdoor people, gardening, hiking, and exploring the outdoors. They dislike they dislike learning unfamiliar topics that have no connection to nature. Okay, for the potential career choices, if you're strong in naturalistic intelligence, good career choices for you are being a biologist, conservationist, gardener, and a farmer. Okay, next we have the musical or rhythmic. People who have strong musical intelligence are good at thinking in patterns, rhythms, and sounds. They have a strong appreciation for music and are often good at musical composition and performance. So for the strengths, they are rhythmic and music. Characteristics, people with musical intelligence, they enjoy singing and playing musical instruments. Maybe if you love the band, you're into music, you have a musical intelligence. They recognize musical patterns and tones easily, remember songs and melodies, have a rich understanding of musical structure, rhythm, and notes. For the potential career choices, good career choices can be a musician, composer, singer, music teacher, and a conductor. Then we have the kinesthetics. Those who have high bodily kinesthetic intelligence are said to be good at body movement, performing actions, and physical control. People who are strong in this area tend to have excellent hand and eye coordination and dexterity. For the strengths, into physical movement and motor control. Characteristics, people with bodily kinesthetic intelligence are skilled at dancing and sports, enjoy creating things with his or her hands, so like those who love crafts. They have excellent physical coordination and remember by doing rather than hearing or seeing. The potential career choices for these kind types of people are being a dancer, a builder, sculptor, and an actor. So next we have the visual spatial. People who are strong in visual spatial intelligence are good at visualizing things. These individuals are often good with directions as well as maps, charts, videos, and pictures. For the strengths, visual and spatial judgment. Characteristics. People with visual spatial intelligence, they read and write for enjoyment, are good at putting puzzles together, interpret pictures, graphs, and charts well, enjoy drawing, painting, and the visual arts, and they recognize patterns easily. The potential career choices would include the architect, artist, and an engineer. Then we have here the logical or mathematical. People who are strong in logical mathematical intelligence are good at reasoning, recognizing patterns, and logically analyzing problems. These individuals tend to think conceptually about numbers, relationships, and patterns. For the strengths, analyzing problems and mathematical operations. The characteristics, people with logical mathematical intelligence have excellent problem solving skills. They enjoy thinking about abstract ideas, like conducting scientific experiments, and they can solve complex computations. These are like the math wizards. The potential career choices, scientist, mathematician, computer programmer, engineer, and accountant. Next, we have the interpersonal. Those who have strong interpersonal intelligence are good at understanding and interacting with other people. These individuals are skilled at assessing the emotions, motivations, desire, and intentions of those around them. For the strengths, it's more into understanding and relating to other people. The characteristics, people with interpersonal intelligence, they communicate well verbally, are skilled at non-verbal communications also. See situations from different perspectives, create positive relationships with others, resolve conflicts in group settings. The potential career, these are for psychologists, philosopher, a counselor, salesperson, and even a politician. So they're really good at interpersonal skills or the intelligence. And finally, we have the intrapersonal. So for the interpersonal intelligence, these individuals are strong in or good at or being good and aware of their own emotional states, feelings, and motivations. They tend to enjoy self reflection and analysis, including daydreaming, exploring relationships with others, and assessing their personal strengths. For the strengths, so they are introspection and self reflection. And the characteristics, they analyze their strengths and weaknesses well. They enjoy analyzing theories and ideas. They have excellent self awareness. They understand the basis for his or her own motivation and feelings. The potential career choices, philosopher, writer, theorist, and scientist. So, what do you think? What multiple intelligences do you have? Or maybe just one intelligence? I think personally for me, I'm into interpersonal because I love to work with people. I love to resolve conflicts, and I always want to create a positive relationship with others. For me, relationships does matter. So share your thoughts. Thank you. So the next question is, why should we determine our zone of genius? Of course, because technically or basically, we own our gift. You know, you own your gift. That's you. Just make it smaller. Others work, but you're having fun. So for others, this is work, but you, it's just, you're having fun because you like doing it. For some people, money motivates them, but not for others. See, so there's really a big difference to know these things. And next, why is it important to determine what you are passionate about? what you love doing, because passion plus purpose plus prosperity is equals to you. That's why some people we become burnout when we work because we're tired of doing these things. Maybe for some people they don't love to be working on documents, maybe on, let's say, biddings. But for some they love to talk to people. Others they find it so uncomfortable talking with people. So it's really very important that we should know our passion and purpose, why we're doing it, and of course prosperity, what we look up to. And it's because this this one equates to you. Life is not all about us. It's about what we are willing to do, learn, and give so that others can feel you exist and is making a difference. So this is really very important for everyone. So, are you ready to give it a try? Of course, we have to really do this. So we'll try to compare now the dreams versus our goals. So of course we have to dream big, set goals, but take action. Let's try to differentiate the dreams and the goals. So when we say dreams, these are things that you think of doing or having. Like, you know, you desire this thing, you want to have this thing. So these are all in your mind. This happens when you're asleep or daydreaming. Of course, when we're asleep, we think of our favorite things. As the song says, these are the few of my favorite things. And sometimes we daydream, when we see this, let's say a beautiful house, a beautiful car, or someone with a love life, and you don't have one. Just kidding. You tend to daydream, oh, I hope I will also have this type of, car, house, love life, relationship, children. So we daydream. And of course, this is free. It's just dream, right? Aspirations, it's really free. You don't produce results. It's because it's just in your mind. You just dream it. It's imaginary. It does not have a finish line, at least. So it's free, and of course, you can dream all you want. So it does not have an end. You don't need focus because these are just thoughts. It requires imagination. So sometimes when we look into a house and we would say, and then you would see yourself in this house in your dream or while you're daydreaming, and you say, I'm there sitting on the couch and enjoying life, watching TV, something like this. It's so you're just daydreaming. And of course, this requires sorry, stretches your imagination, and it inspires people when we share our dreams and aspirations. And this exists in our thoughts only and backed up with nothing. So it's just there, purely imagination. But when we say goals, are those things you're willing to act on. So you write it down, the goals, and then you work for it. You work for it. Though this happens when we're wide awake. These have costs. Unlike for this one that you don't does not produce result, you don't have to invest in it. But for goals, these have costs. It can't even be a monetary cost. The cost could be your effort, how you will work to produce it. So time, treasure, and your talent. This one produces results because you are setting your goals, and these are realistic goals. These are based on reality. It's time bounded, so we have to put time on it. We'll say we'll go for this goal. We'll achieve it in a month, in a few months, or a few years. And of course, this needs focus. It requires hard work. This will stretches you to your limits. This can change people's lives. It's in writing because you have to put it into writing. It's not daydreaming that tomorrow you'll forget about it. And it's backed up with plans. So you have to plan and work on it. So it all starts with a need or a dream. So sometimes people we just dream of being an artist, we dream of being a writer, being a teacher, being an athlete, being a pilot, a speaker, influencer, entrepreneur, and other big dreams we have. So of course when we have this dream, we have to start to make it to achieve it. So we have to make goals to achieve it. So for example, if you dream to being an artist, like the in the televisions, so you have to work for it. You have to, practice and take up workshops. To be a writer, you have to start writing. You have to do something about it. Find works in writing. Maybe you attend training. Join a content writers group. Being a teacher, of course, you have to go to school for it. Be an educator, then take maybe the board exam. Just like here in the Philippines, we have a board exam. Then, as an athlete, of course, you have to work hard for it. Maybe every day to practice. For a pilot, you have to go to a pilot school. To be a speaker, just like what I've been doing for the past few years, I take up courses about public speaking, presentation skills, presentation theories. As an influencer, you have to have your network. An entrepreneur, you really have to study business. So it's really very critical and it's very important to have this goal and make it specific to achieve this dream. Okay, so for SMART goals, there are three types as we set our goals. We've got the short-term goals, meaning we will achieve this in the next 6 to 12 months or 1 year. We have the medium-term goals. We will achieve this in the next 2 to 5 years. And we have our long-term goals. We will achieve this in the next 6 to 10 years. So this one comes with our purpose. So, for example, we have SMART goals here. One for your personal goal, another one for your family, and another one for your career and business. So, for a personal, as a freelancer, for example, so what are your personal needs? Maybe we could say I would need a laptop. I would need a laptop, of course, for online work. So what's the brand? Of course, if you set a goal, go for the best one. We have with the MacBook Air 2018. So because this was as of last year. So how much is it? How much does it cost? So that's 50,000 pesos. And when are you planning to buy it or to achieve this goal? In the next 24 months. So for this goal, you have to put some action into it. Very simple. You can apply for a loan. I'm just kidding. So you have to work for it. So maybe you'll say, if I have this income in my freelance career, for example, or in my job, then I have to save up. So if it's 24 months, so I have to divide 50,000 divided by 24 months, right? It's just like saying it's like 24 months, that's 2,000 per month. Because for 1 year, you'll get 24,000, and for 2 years, you'll get 48. So it will take you 2 years, of course. So that's it. If that's your personal goal, it's to buy a laptop. Another one is if you have a goal for your family and you really want to go on to family vacation, where would you spend the vacation? So it's 7 days in Hong Kong Disneyland. How much? How much does it cost? So it's like 15,000 per person. So if you are like 10 in the family, so you have to prepare for 10, 15,000 or 115,000 pesos. And when? So we just change this one. So let's say because right today's already April, so we'll just say December 2021. So December 1 to 7. So what will you do to achieve these goals? Of course, number first is you have to prepare the money. So you have to save for it. We try to have a trust fund or a thrift fund, and you just put money into it. Then if you want to go to Hong Kong, then of course you have to start researching about it. Maybe you try to ask agencies or try to look into the flights, the hotel accommodations, and other places you might visit in Hong Kong. Maybe like shopping. We love shopping. I love shopping. And of course, you really have to find the money or really save for it. It's 15,000 per person. So as I said earlier, if you're 10 in the family, then start saving for this 10 person. And when, of course, if it's 2021, then I mean this December 2021, then right now you already have to start working for it. Like maybe try to find for agencies because it's still cheaper these days compared when it's already near December 2021. Then for your career and business, so maybe your goal is to have one stable client with 40 hours per month of work. So it's like a full-time job. and 24 stable clients in December 2020. Oh, that's cool. You got lots of clients. How much? How much is the pay that in your mind? So you might say that, okay, I'll ask for $10 per hour and I will subcontract this to virtual assistants. So when? So starting month 3 of extensive marketing. So if this is your goal, then you have to really work it out. As it says here, start marketing it, study harder, connect with more people, collaborate, and even with the virtual assistant. So these SMART goals can be a short-term goal, right? You can just, for example, for this one, it will be taken within the year. So it's just a short-term goal. In the next, it's already April now, so maybe the next 6 to 7 months. But of course, for this one, it's a long-term goal because it's more of, although starting 3 months of extensive training, but coming up with 24 stable clients, it will really take time. And of course, for the personal goal, it's a medium-term goal because it will be in the next 2 years. So, you will also have your annual plan. You have to create an editable calendar and you have to write down all your goals. Create milestone, so small achievable goals maybe for January. So for example, for the personal computer, if you want to purchase it for January, let's say if it's January, then you say 2000 and then 2000. So these are small achievable goals and you have to set timelines. So for the 2000 pesos for January, by the end of the month, you should already have it. You have to map out the steps you are going to hit your milestones. So you really have to do actionable, tangible steps. And then you have to mark your progress that you will know. You have to do, rinse, and repeat. So it's a continuous process. And of course, finally, we'll discuss the tasks. What are the skills and passion, the actual versus ideal budget, because we have to go for these goals. The SMART goals costing, so I'll show you now a link to the sample task, and an annual plan, link to the sample task also. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so this is my output. So for the instruction from Propsco, it says, welcome to our actual versus ideal income calculator. You'll find a set of instructions below to visualize your actual and ideal income and use them for your marketing strategies as you build and or grow your business. So for the steps is we have first to go to tab 3, the actual versus ideal budget. So input all your actual income and expenses within the yellow highlighted cells within column B. So this is column B. So this is my actual income. So feel free to change any descriptions and or add remove lines as needed. Then we'll have to input our ideal income and expected expenses within the yellow highlighted cells within column F. So this is column F. Of course, feel free also to change any description and or add remove lines as needed. Let the sheet calculate the difference between where you're currently at and where you want to be, the price tag of your dreams. Then finally, we'll go to tab 4 and use the highlighted cell within column C and E to calculate how many sales clients you'll need and how much to charge them in order to reach your ideal income. Now let's start building your dream business. So for tab 4, we have this one. This is the sales planner as mentioned earlier. Okay, so we'll now continue. So let's go to the actual versus ideal budget. So here, these are the categories or the listing. So to start with, we have to check our total monthly income, the paycheck income as an employee, then business sales income from your own business. So for example, if I have this paycheck, if I'm paid 50,000 per month and for my business I have 10,000 per month, so it's a total of 60,000 pesos. Of course, we've got to check our monthly fixed expenses. If we rent a house, so in my case, I don't rent a house, for example, so it's 0. Do you have car payment, car loan payment, car insurance, gas and electricity? So, for example, in our case, we have 2,000 per month. The water bill is just 400 per month. Internet and cable, so we have 2,000. Phone bill, 2,000 of course for load and we use it. School loans, it's zero because like for example in my case my children they are into public government schools so it's free. Special thanks to our government. Then we have the health insurance, so it's 300 pesos for field health. Childcare, a zero. Groceries and food, I think this is where we spend most of our money, so it's 10,000 pesos. For the monthly discretional expenses, of course, we've got gas for our car. That's 5,000 pesos per month. Then we have dinner and drinks. So we love wine. Sometimes it's 2,000 only per month. Then entertainment, Netflix. Unfortunately, there's no internet connectivity in our house, so we don't have Netflix also. Gym membership and coaching, so we also have zero. Haircut salon, so zero. Other loans and taxes, so 14,000 pesos for our loans and taxes. So you can just delete these columns if you don't want to put it there. But for me, just place it there for reference. So, what should be the ideal budget? So, how much do I project to have my monthly income and all the other expenses? So since I already have this actual budget, so I'll just add up my ideal budget. So I would say working as a full-time, my ideal goal is to have another part-time job. But for example, in your case, if you don't have a job right now, so you can actual budget would all be zero here in this income, but here in the expenditures, you'll have your inputs here. But the ideal budget is like how much you want or you plan to earn in a month. And of course, the ideal budget also in the expenses. So for example, in my case here, since I already have a full-time job, example, I'll just work on an ideal budget for an additional part-time job for now. Okay, so basically, I'm targeting a 20,000 increase in my paycheck and additional 5,000 in more business ventures. So a total of 25,000 pesos. So here there's a difference because it's my additional. So for example, in your case there, if you have zero here and zero here, so what will happen later is it will now become passive. So for example, if you don't have a job right now, and your ideal budget, meaning this is your plan that you'll come up with a 20,000 pesos um, income per month and 5,000 from your business ventures. So you'll have an ideal budget of 25,000. So it will now make a positive difference here. So what about the monthly fixed expenses? Okay, so just check this out. Since it's very small, I'll just make it first my monthly, make it 50,000, the one I had earlier there in the other column. And this one make it 10,000. Okay, so it will be positive, of course. That's our goal, to have a positive income. So we have it here. We have a paycheck income of 50,000 pesos. For example, this is a premium client, meaning they're paid $1,000 more. Then we have 10,000 for the business sales income. So for our monthly fixed expenses, still we don't pay rent, we don't have car payment, car insurance. Then we have gas and then water bill. We'll just add 100 pesos. Internet and cables still 2,000. Phone bill still 2,000. School loans, unless maybe later if we plan to enroll in a new career or school loans even for your kids if you have any. Then we have health insurance. Then childcare is still zero and groceries and food. So you might say, I have to save more on my groceries and food. So the monthly discretion expenses, still because I don't have a car for now. Dinner will make it 1,000 pesos. We're really saving up. And other loans and taxes, maybe still it's 14,000. Okay, so that's it. This is for our lifestyle budget plan. So it's really very important that we have this one here. And we also have the monthly fixed expenses and the monthly discretional expenses. Of course, what we have right now, if we have this monthly fixed expenses, it's 18,000 based on the monthly fixed expenses here. Then discretionary expenses. So the total expenses is 26, and of course we still have a savings of 23,000 pesos. Okay, let's go now to our sales goal. So basically, let me make this larger. So basically, we have here number of sales clients. I should come up with 2 clients, and of course, monthly income, actual charge per client. Let's say it's a premium client, so it's 40,000 per month. Okay, so the total monthly sorry, for the actual, assuming that this is your actual, I'm sorry, maybe it might be confusing. Let me restate it first. So for the actual, for example, you have these 2 full-time clients. So you'll have a monthly income of 80,000 pesos. But in our case here, because the last time we had this one, it's still 0 here, right? For the monthly income. So we can also put 0 here for our sales goals. Okay, so I'll just make this one 0 first. But let's go to our ideal. So for ideal is we have this one. We've got 2 clients, then 25,000 per client. So ideally, it would become 50,000 pesos. So it's actually where we got the 50,000 pesos here. So the income here. That's F9, 50,000. It's where we get the income. So this is ideal budget. I mean, ideal sales plan. And of course, let's try to explore the market. So how will we find the 50,000 pesos? So we have the market niching template. So in choosing your market, you have to ask yourself, do you know a lot about this industry? Are there courses that can teach you how to succeed in this market? Do you have connections, networks in this market? Can your skills solve their biggest problem and challenge? Does your skill easily attract businesses in this market? So in my case, as a digital marketing specialist, I'm more into the social media marketing and management for micro, small, medium enterprise for hotels, transport, and tourism. These are what I'm currently working on. And I have served 5 clients in this market, and I want to serve 5 more. And markets would greatly benefit, so there will be 5 more markets, so a total of 15. So another specific market for my skills is website development for micro, small, medium enterprises. Same for hotels, transport, and tourism. So it's still 5, and 5, a total of 15 also. Next is we have the social media marketing and management training for solo mothers, which is, I'm also currently conducting this, but this is a long-term goal for us. So I was able to conduct 3 already in Cebu, Naga, and Balamban. And we plan to have 5 more and 5 more and 13. So digital marketing for professionals. So I'm also working this out for dentists, architects, lawyers, and other professions. And I had served 1 in this market. And I plan to reach out 5 and serve 5 more. And social media marketing for farm owners, because I was able to make a Facebook page for a farmer. So I was able to serve 1 for Elizon Farm. And of course, I'm also looking forward to expand my expertise in this market. So there you have it. So personally for you, you also have to find your niche market and just try to list down all this stuff. So what are your top 3 markets? So for me, my top 3 markets are hotel owners, then van rental owners for the tourism industry, and entrepreneurs. Can your skill offer faster results for this market? So I would say yes, of course, because I'm knowledgeable in this market and I've been working on projects similar to this one for the past 4 to 5 years. Does this market understand the skills that you offer? So I'll just say it's 2 because I have to reach out to them and explain further. Can you find this market online or in social media? So it's still 2 because in this pandemic, it's very difficult also to engage even with clients online or in social media. Is this market profitable? So for now, the hotels, it's still recovering. For same with the van rental, but for the entrepreneurs, they're good. So it's a total still of 9, 9, and 9. So what are the sample SMART goals? So I have here the short-term goals, the 6 to 12 months, the medium-term goals, the 2 to 5 years, and the long-term goals, so 10 years. So for my short-term goals, I'm praying and hoping to be a certified DICT trainer. So my goal there is be certified. Deadline is the end of April. The value of this training is around 20,000 pesos for me. So I also want to finish a Facebook social media marketing professional certificate. So I've already done 4 out of the 6 courses. So I'm almost there. So I'll work on it next month. That's May 15, 2021. Grow my community of solo mothers. So I really plan to grow it because we've been conducting training. And I also have a plan to register into the National Coconut Farmers Register System because we've got a lots of farmer lots. We have farmer lots in our places in Dulag, Leyte. And achieve a 1 million in total sales for our IT company. So that's my goal for this coming December. So I also have my medium-term goal, of course, also my long-term goal. For my medium-term goal, I'll be a certified digital marketing specialist. I know it will take me time, but I'm really up to it. And develop our idle land into a farm, 1 hectare. So that's why I really want to go into the National Coconut Farmers Register System for our lot. We actually have like more than 8 hectares of land, but I just want to develop one, right? This is a medium term goal, so they should be achievable. And I want to start planting fruit bearing trees. I love mangoes and also pomelo, atis, other fruit bearing trees. Continue to grow our total sales by 10% per year for our IT company. And of course, for my long-term goal is to develop our idle land into a farm. The next one is the 3 hectares. Own one SUV, a sports utility vehicle, maybe a Ford Raptor, very specific. It's 1.2 million. And achieve a yearly 1 million minimum in sales for our IT company. By then, I'll be able to afford a vehicle. So that's it. And of course, for my niche, as I discussed earlier, you really have to start, thinking about this market and putting it into writing and start reaching out to this market. Okay, so there you have it. And I'd like to say thank you so much for being with me today. Bye.